Hi guys, it's Lydia, and I wanted to add on Walk Away Part 2, and because I wanted to add on and share some new things, and also I noticed in my last video there's a couple run-on sentences. I'm still pretty new to this, so just bear with me. In my last video, I said that I was for free education, and now I'm against it. Mainly because one, taxes will go way up, and that would hurt the economy. And you can't force people. You can't force. Notice, say force. You can't force them to pay for other people's education. That's not right. And then that leads to them more power to the government and teaching and having a say of what you need to learn. Secondly, I want to say something about Joe Biden, excuse me. You know, a lot of people think he's a moderate, but he's definitely more socialist. Like his policies are, they're similar to Bernie's. So I encourage you guys to vote in the next few months in November. And I starting to do this, walk away, and just start speaking because we need more people to lead this nation back to the heart of God, because there's so many people that are hurting, and there's so many people that need to know the truth. And I started reading this book called Socialism Under the Microscope, written by Rodney Howard-Browne and Paul L. Williams. I actually just got this book and I read it in one day because I was super excited to read it. And so basically it's about the history of socialism, how it all got started, and how it's been, sorry, I got a text message, but how it got infiltrated in the US, even though America's not a socialist country, but socialism, there's forms of it in this country because, you know, once I started reading this book, I realized, I can't remember who it was, but I remember reading about the Rockefeller, I think that's how you pronounce it, Rockefeller brothers. And, they started, and other people started subtly implementing socialism, like very subtly, into the education system, into our churches even, and like it's just all over, even in not just textbooks, but other, like, just normal books like that people read. And so I wanted to say that you need to read this book. It's so good. I just want to read the back a little bit. Socialism is a starter to the meal before the main course of communism takes full control. Within the socialist system of Marx and Lenin, hatred of God is the principal driving force. And I really want to talk about that because in my last video I said that we're in spiritual warfare, and it's really true. And I also wanted to share some of my testimony. Like I grew up with 5 brothers and 1 sister, the youngest in my family. Even though I grew up in a Christian home, it wasn't perfect, and like no family is. Every family has its problems, believe me. But like, I remember we moved from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Russell, Kansas, or from big city to small town, and I was so angry at God for that, because it felt like he took everything away from me, my friends, my other family, because a lot of them were moved out already, and I was really mad at my parents for that too. and I was like that for a couple of years, and I even, uh, but then, and I even cursed at God for a little bit. Believe me, I'm not happy about that. But then my sophomore year of high school, I, or it was right before I started my sophomore year of high school, I had a friend who invited me to a church camp in Colorado, and that's when I got saved. I was climbing a mountain and like real rock climbing, and I was scared because it was my first time, and I was literally crying. I love rock climbing now. I believe it's so much fun. But back then, I hated rock climbing. Um, so I was rock climbing and I got stuck and I wanted to quit, but I had to reach the top. And so I had a staff member come and help me he like told me where to put my hands and feet, and I was like, okay, this is who Jesus is. He tells us where to guide our feet. And I actually started reading my Bible and treating my parents better, even though it still wasn't perfect and we still had rough times, you know. Um, and then, but right after I became a Christian, that summer or that school year, I stopped hanging out with the friends that I used to. It was really rough because it was right after that I became suicidal for a while until I talked with the youth pastor, and she prayed with me, and the Holy Spirit was definitely talking to me through her. And after that, I was fine. And I wanted to talk about that because um, there is spiritual realm out there that is out to get um, that is after children in America, and I'm wanted to speak about the transgender issue. Um, that was really new to me. Like when I was first introduced to that idea, it was just a couple semesters ago, and when I first heard about it, and I was like, no, I immediately knew it was like I didn't agree at all. Um, I so I just wanted to speak about that, like, because I've been studying elementary education, and I'm trying to figure out how to say this. Um, the Bible is clear that there is male and female, and doctors aren't stupid, okay? They go to school to study, they have to study biology, and I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. And um, you can't become a man and you can't become a woman. But I wanted to speak out because I believe there are children who truly believe that they can change into another gender, and it's not the truth. But and then parents get so worked up, parents. I don't want to blame the parents because that can be heartbreaking for them. But I just wanted to say though, like, the enemy is out there and he wants to he hates children, and that's not who Jesus is. Jesus wants to welcome the children, and I just I can't say enough that prayer is so powerful. And Trump 2020, by the way.